What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani of TSC. We have right here via Zoom a very special guest, always hardworking, always on the road. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a former world champion, one of the all-time greats. He's the world's strongest man. And now he has successfully transitioned into broadcasting. We are talking to All Elite Wrestling's Mark Henry. Mark, thank you so much for your time, man. How's everything going?
Man, life is good, man. I can't complain at all. I mean, to be in broadcasting, to be in the media, as well as working at an executive role at AEW and doing my thing on SiriusXM, life is good.
It's pretty incredible. And a couple years ago, when I talked to you at Alan Goldberg's Hall of Fame event in Atlantic City, you were just kind of starting to make that transition from in-ring to broadcasting and everything else you're doing in AEW. We're several months removed now from you signing with AEW. How's your experience been so far?
It's been great. It's been really, really unbelievable. I feel truly blessed to be able to have the platform that I have and to be able to work with the people that I'm working with, because everybody wants the product to be great. Nobody cares who gets the credit. Everybody just wants to work to make a great deal.
Now, obviously, you saw something special in AEW when you did sign with them, because you were with WWE for a very long time. But are you even a little bit surprised that things have grown so quickly?
I mean, it's not by accident. Everything is purposeful. To have the right minds, pushing the right product and the right people in that product is what we're doing. It's intentional.
And I know the old saying in wrestling is never say never. Who knows? Maybe we'll see you in the ring again one day for one more match. But you did transition into.
You have to excuse me for laughing. I kind of made John laugh. I told him if anybody hits me, I'm gonna call the police. Like, man, I just really have lost the ambition of being in the ring and doing it myself. If I was in the ring to protect somebody, yeah, maybe. But like to be out there because I want to see my name in the headline in the headlines, no thanks.
All right, good to know. So for now, we will write off that one more match. You're now in broadcasting. On the surface, when you do anything really well, or when somebody does something really well, they make it look easy, right? You were an awesome pro wrestler, you're the world's strongest man, but obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it. Same thing when it comes to broadcasting. What was the biggest challenge for you adjusting to broadcasting on the radio with SiriusXM and now with AEW with Rampage?
I thought it was going to be diction. I thought it was going to be using proper grammar. Everybody knows that I'm a country guy. Everybody knows that I'm an athlete first. So you kind of get that thrown out of the window. Then it becomes, can you captivate people with what you're saying and give them great takes? And I've always had an opinion. And when it comes to having an opinion, you want to validate your opinion. You want to be able to say, well, this is my opinion. But then also you want to be able to say, facts are that this is what it is. And that's what I feel like has been kind of my strong suit. I let people know my opinion, but I tell you, this is just my opinion. Yeah. When it comes to facts, I'm going to give you the facts and I'm going to let you know this is not my words. You can go online, you can look up this and I give you the same kind of investigative process that I go through.
Was it weird at first, especially with the Busted Open gig, being a former wrestler, or I guess a semi-retired wrestler, to all of a sudden be either criticizing or praising your colleagues rather than just working with them?
You know what? But you have to take the good with the bad. You have to be able to criticize people that are friends of yours, mm-hmm. and acquaintances and coworkers. And I've actually had people come to me and say, "Hey, man, that was kind of harsh what you said." I was like, "That's the facts." I was like, "If you're offended that I'm the one that's saying it, then just tell me, and then we can just have a discussion about how you feel about what I'm saying." But you can't deny the truth, and and I'm going to give you the truth.
Full disclosure: I grew up a very big fan of yours. Still a fan of your work. And before getting into broadcasting, you really started clicking on promos later in your career. You always had a lot of charisma, but definitely I remember you calling, Daniel Bryan, Tiny Tim. I think you told Randy Orton one time you should take a week off and quit the business. Of course, you have the infamous promo where you pretended to retire with John Cena and attacking him. So you got a lot left in the tank. When did it really click in for you on the promo side of things, which obviously has helped you with broadcasting?
When I was told to be myself and not be apologetic about being country, because there were times where I felt like so many people would tell me, Mark, that's not the proper way to say that. And I was subconscious about speaking my mind because I didn't want to speak out of turn. I didn't want to say something that was, make up a word. I supercalifragilistic. I just make up a word. But, it's funny to do that, and people know that I'm not some dumbass, that I'm a smart guy that cares about how I'm perceived. So I did a lot of studying though, and it wasn't a case where I felt uncomfortable anymore. It was like, okay, you prepared, let's go. And that's what I did.
For sure. And I'm assuming with the AEW, you're still in a scouting capacity as well, because you have a hell of a track record when it comes to talent.
I'm still scouting. There's a couple of people in the pipeline. There's a couple of people that I'm going to start working with hands-on. And, when that day comes for people to find out, then y'all will know. But I'm not going to spill the beans. But, yeah, man, I'm steadily working.
One of the guys he did scout that we talked about a few years ago was Braun Strowman, and he seemed like he was well on his way up to success. And shockingly this year, along with a lot of people, but him and Bray Wyatt in particular, were gone from WWE to budget cuts, whatever the reason. Were you surprised to see him let go? And do you think he still has a future in pro wrestling?
He has a great future in pro wrestling. I mean, your future is not always where you started. Even Jesus had to leave Nazareth to be the man that he became, the God that we know so well. Sometimes you got to pack your bags and go and prove yourself. It's not saying that he may not never go back. This is just a temporary moment in time. He's had a lot of success. Whether you get fired or you move on your own, you have to be able to be ready to take whatever the next step is. And I hope that he is. I hope he's ready. I talked to him. We interviewed him on Busted Open, and I actually did a show with him and EC3, and he's ready. I think he's going to be all right.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. Now, for the last 25 years, there's been so many groups, so many stables that have come and gone. I've actually interviewed every single Nation of Domination member other than The Rock. And it's kind of crazy. You guys obviously look back at that time very fondly and justifiably so. But it's amazing that so many fans look back very fondly at that as well. Do you still feel the love from that stable, from the fans these days?
There's not one time that I wrestled where I didn't go to the ring and there was somebody in the crowd trying to get me to throw the Nation sign up. And, the Nation of Domination is going to go down in history as one of the greatest wrestling factions of all time, because the Nation of Domination, unlike every other faction, look how many guys became champions from the Nation. People that went on and had individual success and Hall of Fame careers. Almost everybody is in there except for D-Lo. And I really do think that the WWE is missing the boat. D-Lo should have made it already. And I hope that he gets the nod soon.
Speaking of pro wrestling, of course, this is a New York show. At the time we're recording this, December 8th, it's going to be AEW's debut in the brand new UBS Arena in Elmont, New York, Long Island. MJF is in the Battle Royal looking to win that diamond yet again. Do you have any wild predictions for the show?
You know what, man? If I had a prediction, it would be for the fans. that they would have the time of their life and that they would be begging and clamoring for more. I'm excited about going to a new arena. I've never been there. And I wish we could have been the first event in that arena, but we didn't have that luxury, and we got to take what we can get. But we're going to go in there and blow the roof off that place. They better get ready to do some construction.
For real. And not throwing shade whatsoever, just stating facts because it's been in the news. You look at the AEW ticket sales, you look at WWE's ticket sales in the same arena. And last time I checked, I think AEW has almost like 3,000 more tickets sold, which is just crazy to think about given, the longstanding relationship that WWE's had with the New York market. Does that surprise you at all? Being a guy that literally has a front row seat to what's going on in AEW?
Man, it's not shade. You're not throwing shade. They sold a little over 5,000 tickets, and we've already sold 8, and we haven't even had walk-up yet. So hopefully we can get 10,000 people in there, double their audience, and they're not talking about competition, but we are.
All right. There you go. Mark Henry, Canada as always, especially on Busted Open. Now, before we let you go, we always like to ask all our guests some kind of random rapid fire questions just for fans to get to know them better. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's your favorite cheat meal or late night snack?
I like ice cream or yogurt.
All right. Any kind of flavor?
I like strawberry, chocolate, kind of the normal flavors.
All right. Cool.
Out of control.
All right. That's cool. Seems legit. You mentioned that you don't really want to wrestle anymore, but I'm just curious, how's your body feeling these days?
You know what? I'm a little jacked up, man. I got a bad back. I got a knee that I probably should be wearing a brace or something. I'm damaged goods.
Do you still work out at all? Do you still lift any heavy things?
I don't lift nothing heavy. A fork is about the heaviest thing I lift.
Hey, you earned it, man. You busted your ass. You did World's Strongest Man. You did the Arnold. You won the world title. You're in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you did all good. Now, from what I understand, are you based in Austin, Texas?
Yes, I'm in Austin right now. Just flew in.
Awesome. Well, what's your favorite spot in Austin?
Sushi wise, I like Uchiko. Barbecue wise, I like Blacks for beef ribs. I like Styles for their pretty much overall presentation. And, it's everybody has all the places I go have different things that they specialize in. I give a little love to everybody.
What's your favorite spot on the road? Is there any town you like to pass through and you're like, hell yeah, man, this is my favorite steakhouse or whatever?
You know what? Katsuya in Los Angeles, sushi place. I love sushi. Steakhouses, man, there's good steakhouses everywhere. It's hard. It's the Chop House in Chicago. Austin has Perry's. And Perry's, there's Perry's in a bunch of places. I don't get the steak, though, when I go to Perry's. I get the pork chop.
All right. There you go. Who, in your opinion, is the most underrated talent right now in AEW? Maybe somebody that we haven't regularly seen on Dynamite that you think in a few months or a year could be a pretty big deal.
Dante Martin. Dante Martin does stuff that defies the laws of gravity. And he's a young guy. He is 19 years old, man. In 19. He was in high school last year.
That's crazy.
And he's just doing things that a 19-year-old shouldn't be able to do. And I think that in 5 years, he'll be the best guy in the business. He's already developing some of those Shawn Michaels, Daniel Bryan type qualities. And I'm just looking forward to the future for him.
Yeah, that kid is incredible. The sky is definitely the limit for him. Going to be interesting to see what he does with Team Taz as well. On the flip side, you got a few older guys on the roster as well. Are you surprised, being a former colleague of these guys and now a current colleague of these guys, to see guys like Chris Jericho, Dustin Rhodes, and Sting still doing their thing at a high level?
Not at all, because they were excellent talents. And when you coach every day, which they're coaching, they're teaching, you got to follow your own advice. And you have an example to lead, and they're going out there and leading by example. And that's the best form of coaching. So, it's not a surprise to me that they're doing it. But when I saw Bryan Danielson and Dustin 2 weeks ago wrestle, I was blown away. Yeah. I did not think that Dustin could still be the Dustin he was 10 years ago, and he is. It was wow, it was inspiring.
And it definitely seems like a lot of these guys that were in WWE with you for a while, not that they didn't enjoy their time there, but it just seems like everybody's looser and has more fun in AEW. Would that be accurate?
You know what? When you don't have to placate to the office, and you don't look at it from a forced type of feeling, and you just go out there and just be you, and it's not scripted, that's the best. Mm-hmm. I think that, overproduced is not a better product.
What's your most awkward moment as a broadcaster?
Most on Busted Open or
any kind of on-air gig? Is it, is there something that, like, if we were at a party, you were telling me that's a funny story that maybe was kind of wild at the time?
No, I think that Dave and I, we're like two 15-year-olds. We have Porky's humor, and there's times where we'll start saying stuff on the air, and we have to catch ourselves, and we'll start laughing, and it'll just be like 30 seconds of us laughing on air. No analyzing, no talking about nothing, just everybody hearing us laugh, and it made my eye well up. Me and Dave have a good time, man. And I think that our fans really appreciate us, being real and having a good time. So yeah, that's kind of the only awkward moments is us laughing hysterically.
Awesome. You're having fun at the job, right?
I am. Hey, man, you go get that mail, go to the mailbox, get that check, and you laugh to get it. Pretty nice life.
What's the best piece of advice you give anybody for success?
Be over prepared and let success be what it is for you. Don't judge your success on what other people have done. Be over prepared for anything, but be happy with what you get, basically.
Fantastic, man. Some great gems you dropped there. And before we let you go, for anybody that hasn't had a chance to check out an AEW show live, maybe for some strange reason, they're still on the fence, they have a chance to go to the UBS Arena next week. One line or less, why should they attend Dynamite?
I think right now the hottest thing in pro wrestling is MJF. He's from Long Island. He is going to come home, and it's going to be a historic day. You want to be in the building. Watching it on TV, please. We want the ratings. But if you can do this for you, be there in person so you can see the spectacle that AEW is, as well as the historical moment that's going to happen in pro wrestling that may never happen again. It's the first time coming home for MJF, and I think it's going to be great.
And believe it or not, it might be the first and only time he's actually cheered. We'll see, though.
I doubt it. I really 100% doubt that he's going to get cheered.
There you go. From the man himself, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. You can follow him on Twitter at the Mark Henry. You can check him out on Busted Open on SiriusXM. Of course, all Elite Wrestling programming, including AEW Rampage Friday nights on TNT. Anywhere else we can find you next, Mark?
You covered all the bases, man. I'm not out in a lot of places. That's about it. We do nationacrossthenation.com events. And if people want to go on, they can go on markhenry.com or markhenry.live and see the Nation Across the Nation events. And if they want to buy tickets, they can go to nationacrossthenation.live.
Awesome. And of course, as we mentioned, AEW coming to the UBS Arena, Elmont, New York. MJF coming home to Long Island, December 8th. Get your tickets now and also watch it on TNT. Mark, thank you so much.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Sorry about having to do it from the car. I got to do it where I can get it in.